What's being said today?
There was a lot of relief I saw from the players at shoot-around this morning. Everyone in Lakerland seemed to be really, really happy. Tons of smiles on their faces. A lot of relief, a lot of excitement, and we caught up with two guys that everybody wanted to hear from, Bryant and Steve Nash. Well, Marv mentioned this earlier, the health of Blake Griffin, that bursa sac in that right elbow. He's still going to wear that pad on the elbow, and by the way, that's nothing new for him. He's had those elbow situations for a while. When you think about the Boston Celtics, one of the most important pieces, and I still think highly underrated, is Rajon Rondo. He may not go tonight because he has a jammed finger. What does that mean in terms of changing of the pace? Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Stacy Paetz, alongside from the Chicago Tribune, K.C. Johnson, one of our absolute favorites, and of course Mike Wells from the Indianapolis Star. I'm going to go ahead and say we like him too. K.C., let's start with you, your impressions of the Pacers and this first round meeting so far. Well, you know how fans are. They want immediate action. They want immediate W's, and they've got the backing of the players, Mike D'Antoni does, so they think the fans will be on board with this. And one thing that Steve Nash said is his brand of basketball is going to be very exciting for these fans to watch. Coach showed up unexpectedly to surprise his team yesterday. I spoke with him on the phone just moments ago, and he told me, listen, it was important for him to do that. He shook everyone's hand, and of course everyone grew emotional. He also asked me to deliver a message to everyone that's been thinking of him and praying for him, especially for their prayers. He is grateful. He says it's been overwhelming. He also told me he is going to be watching the game comfortably from home, and he will see something on the back of his players' helmets. That is a D in representation of their head man. The Phillips story is well known to football fans. Of course, on August 9th, 2010, there was a plane crash in Alaska that claimed 5 lives. 2 of those lives, Senator Ted Stevens as well as Bill Phillips. And joining us now, Janet Phillips. And when you think about Willie, your youngest son was one of the survivors of that crash, and you have 2 sons in this contest today. In what ways has football really been a vessel for you guys to get through this tough time?
Well, football is something that has brought our family together.
And there are these T-shirts. It says Paul 86 on the front, and then it also says Culture 89 on the back of the shirts, and of course representing both sons. Paul did not play in game 1 because he was injured. I'll have you turn around. Coulter did not play, or is not playing tonight because he unfortunately is injured. But having these guys on 2 separate teams meeting tonight, that's got to be special for the family. When you think about the Harlem Globetrotters, so much history there. Describe what it's like. It must be such an honor to be part of that, because I'm going to tell you, Curly Neal has also been on our show.
Oh, yeah, it's a great honor.
And I love all the barriers that have been broken. 8 women have played with the Harlem Globetrotters, and I actually wanted to learn a couple of things. So tell me some stuff you're teaching me right here. This was yesterday here at the field.
Oh, those are some signature Globetrotter passes. You know, off the elbow. There you go. Here you go, around the back.
Yep, I was having a little trouble with this one.
Behind the knee. There you go.
Just kick it, girl. Just kick it. I don't know why I was
There's a few signature passes.
I know,
right?
We
do a lot of flashy things with the basketball.
Oh. That's a booty one.
Yeah, that's a booty pass.
Booty pass.
Yes. You know, and each, good job, by the way.
Thank you. We love our fans at Indiana, and this gentleman, Bo Man, came all the way from Beijing, China, and a lot of folks didn't even know until we went to Beijing over a year ago that there was a following for the Indiana Pacers. You've been a fan since '94. Why did you latch on to the Pacers?
I love you.
Oh, that's great. Much love to Reggie Miller all the way from Beijing. Thank you so much. Enjoy the game.
No problem.
Courtside seats, loving it, Chris. Well, Reggie Miller responded because he was watching this broadcast, still is, and he says thank you to you. He appreciates it so much that you have been a fan of his right here on Twitter. You are seeing this for the first time, and Reggie Miller, after you gave him a word and you're such a big fan of his, what do you say now to Reggie after this?
I don't know. I'm so excited. Reggie, thank you. You are my idol.
We're fortunate enough to catch up with this guy who's usually way too hard to catch, Ed Carpenter from the IZOD IndyCar Series. When he's not racing, he's watching his Pacers and, of course, his Butler Bulldogs. But, Ed, let's first talk about, it was a limited season for you, limited schedule. What are some prospects?
We did the 4 races this year.
I hear you're going to have some extra competition this season. Have you heard any rumors about that?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the series has been growing more female drivers, and I hear you had some laps out at the Speedway. I heard Roger Penske is seeing what your contract is with the Pacers and try to buy it out to get you on track.
And I like the way he thinks. You know, I only went 130. All 3 laps, I had the pedal as far down as it would go. How fast do you average?
At Indianapolis, we get 230 going into into turn one, so you're only 100 miles an hour off.
Oh, I love it. Well, I would go 100 miles an hour faster, but they wouldn't let me. They said I could not go faster than 130. And right now we welcome assistant coach Patrick Ewing to Pacers Live, always with a basketball in his hand. Good to see. Now, first of all, when you look back and you see that great list of centers to come out of Georgetown, would you have known when you played there that they would pump out so many centers into the NBA?
No, I wouldn't. But you know, we've always had a great, rich tradition of very good players. Anything is possible for him.
Well, I know these young fellas keep you running. Thanks for joining us on Pacers Live.
My pleasure.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to hear from head coach Jim O'Brien.